This is Fighting Fives, where we go head to head with our top 5 lists.
We may agree or disagree. Heck, you might even think we're both nuts.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
And now that's out of the way, let's get to it.
Number 5. My number 5 of best metal bands from the 90s is Korn. Now, this list was really hard for me to try to get everything in. There was a lot of close calls, but I really thought about what bands I really listened to a ton of their albums and a ton of their songs over and over again. And Korn, hands down, I've listened to a ton of their songs through the years, a ton in the 90s, and even to this day, I think their music held up. And that's why I chose Korn as my number 5.
Actually, that's a pretty good number 5. It wasn't my number 5, but I think in your music tastes, it probably would be a good number 5. They were pretty heavy. I think they had that. It wasn't the thrash metal that 90s were known for, but I believe that's actually a pretty good number 5. I'm not sure what you have for your rest of your rest of the bands on your list, but I think that's a pretty good number 5.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of skirted on the electronic a little bit, but they were definitely heavy, and I definitely consider them metal, so... And they had to make my list, so I thought, they just made it. But like I said, it was kind of close.
My number 5 is from a band. It started from the 80s, but was started to be well more known in the 90s. Was Testament. I don't think I liked. I liked them more for Alex Skolnick, which was the guitarist, and his solos were very complex, very unique. Practice What You Preach might not have been their best album, but it was I love the solos on it every time he played. And I still like their heaviness to this day. So even their backing rhythm tracks are pretty complicated as well. And trying to play guitar, I always try to cover these songs from Testament to strengthen my chops up. But that's my number 5.
I can't fight you on that, dude. Testament's a great band. I mean, Practice What You Preach. Again, I love the album. It was a good album. Had great songs on it. And I did enjoy. It was Chuck Billings, I believe, was the singer for that.
Chuck Billy, yeah.
Billy, yeah. I liked his voice. I thought it was good, and Skolnick was a great guitarist. And I remember you kind of walking in his footsteps, as they say. So, yeah, I can't really fight with you. I mean, if I had a top 10, they'd definitely be probably a 6 or 7 probably on my list. So, yeah, Testament was good, dude.
Yeah, so I agree with you. The only thing with Practice What You Preach is I feel like it's not as heavy as their albums that came before it. That's the only criticism I have of it.
What, like the Legacy?
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's number 5.
Number 4.
My number 4 on top metal bands had to be Sepultura. Had to be on my list. This band, now I know Sepultura is a little different now than they were back then. They don't have Max Calavera as the singer anymore, but I feel back in the 90s was their prime. Arise is by far my favorite album. Nothing gets me going and makes me want to throw weight around in the gym than that album. Max's voice, his brother on drums, I mean, everything with that band came together to make that definitely number 4 on my top 5.
Alright, so maybe we should just combine number 4, because this was also my number 4.
Oh, okay, nice.
So yeah, I agree with you 100%. I love Sepultura back in the days, like even from before the 90s, they had Beneath the Remains, and then Arise, and then like mid-90s they had Chaos AD. Man, these riffs were just amazing. The solos were non-stop. They were just like non-stop, like pound your head into the concrete, into the wall type of metal. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree. I still have a lot of their songs on my workout lists when I play work out when I play my list off during my workout. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. No need to do my number 4 because it's the same as yours. Yeah, that's as well as my number 4. It's Sepultura.
And they were even more amazing live. I mean, I saw them at Studio One in Newark.
That's right. I
Back
remember
in
you
the
going.
early '90s, yeah, with John Gemsky.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I mean, and they were a band that were amazing live, like all around, definitely. I mean, they're a little different now. The singer, you know, I mix Max, but yeah, back in the '90s, hands down. I'm glad we agree on that.
Yeah. Do they still have the same guitarists? They can't, right? I think they changed.
No, I think the guitarist is the same.
Is that?
Obviously,
Okay.
the drummer's not.
Yeah.
I think the guitarist and bassist are the same. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, that's our number 4.
Oh, speaking of, let's real quick with John Gemsky. If he was on this Fighting Five with us, every number would be death.
Yeah, exactly. Hands down, without a doubt. So if you're out there, John, contact us.
If you're out there, talk to us. And that's our number 4.
Number 3. My number 3 on this list is Slayer. You gotta have Slayer on there. I mean, they are the godfathers of metal. So I mean, almost every single album at least has 1 or 2 hits on it. Most likely, most of the album is good. So I mean, Tom Araya, bass player, growler. I mean, he had it all. Terry King, Jeff Hanneman. I mean, Dave Lombardo. I mean, every one of them. I mean, you know every member of that band. So I mean, the solos. I mean, the way Terry and Jeff would go off of each other and do solos in a song. I mean, you can't like metal and not like Slayer, hands down. So that's why that's my number 3.
You know, sometimes if you hear us on other podcasts, you might think Mike and I hate each other, but we're actually really good friends. And my number 3 is as well as also Slayer. So I told him off camera that we didn't know each other's list ahead of time, and I told him off camera that just now that our number 3 and 2 are probably going to be the same. So because our number 4 is the same. Yeah, my number 3 is Slayer as well, and for the same reasons, man. It was, but mine was more for the Hanneman King duo. Those solos were just simply amazing. They had high intensity, very well, not super technical, but you definitely gave your fingers a workout when you tried to play them or try to cover them. Those songs are still a landmark and a milestone for every guitarist to play. So yep, definitely Slayer is up there with my number 3.
And that's why we covered it in the band. Angel of Death, man.
Yeah.
That is an amazing song.
That's right. If listeners don't know, Mike and I were in a band together, so for part of a time, and yeah, I guess that was one of our covers, right?
Yep. Great song. I mean, I think we gave Howie a workout too. On that.
Yeah. Yep. And a lot of our style was part of Slayer as well.
Right.
Part
Yeah, you
Slayer.
can definitely see the influence, 100%. But
Yeah, definitely influential band.
wow, 2 for 3 so far, guys. I don't know. This might turn into friendly 5.
And the world might be coming to an end.
It may very well be. Rifts are opening up in Fortnite, and Rifts may be opening up in our planet too. But yes,
when you say riffs, I just see like Hanneman and King just like playing riffs, like.
Yeah, with that spiked armband on.
Yeah, with King, yeah.
Yeah,
So they have what do you call it? Gary Holt is now the drummer for it, no?
Yeah, I believe
Or
so,
guitarist, whatever. Like he used to be in Exodus, which is not on my list, but like that used to be one of my top bands as well. So.
Yeah, they would be in my top 10 hands down too.
Number 2.
Okay, now my number 2 on this list, and at this rate, who knows if it's going to be the same as Rob, but my number 2 is Pantera. Oh, it's finally different, guys. We finally disagree. So Pantera. Recently, upon this recording, we just lost another Abbott brother. We lost Vinnie Paul. He died recently. So there's really no chance of a reunion, definitely now. But Pantera, every song. You want to talk about shredding, angry music. Phil, Rex, the Abbott Brothers. I mean, you had Dimebag and Vinny. I mean, and they were great guys. I used to watch all their videos about how they used to party behind the scenes and everything. And then, I mean, Dimebag was an amazing guitarist, an amazing riff maker. I mean, again, they had to be in my top 3 definitely, but I had to put them at number 2.
Yeah, I don't disagree. That's a great number 2. They were definitely on my list. I was gonna put them on, but like I think other bands. Even though I love Pantera, and you're right about Dimebag, like riffs, spot on, just the syncopation. Like he was very different than all the other bands out there.
That's Rob's favorite word from back in the day, by the way, syncopation. He used to say that all the time. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, but he had, like, it wasn't just like the full on, like, pow, pow, pow. It wasn't that. It was very, it was just really hard it was just, the rhythm was great.
It was just like Billy. It was like, it's just like, I don't know.
The vocals were awesome. Yeah, so I can't disagree with you. Like, even the drums were great. The only criticism is like, because the drums, vocals, and guitars were so great, you don't really hear much of the bass. Like, that doesn't really stand out.
You didn't hear much of Rex, but he was an amazing bass player.
Yeah, that's the only criticism. The other 3 really outshined the bass player in the band, but definitely a great number 2 for sure. So my number 2 is, this might be a little controversial because of how they are now, and they might, people might think they have sold out, but Metallica. So Metallica pre-Black Album.
Right. Well, you're talking they were good right until the Black Album, which was what, around 92, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they were still my favorite band. Not 91, I think was the Black
Was
Album.
91?
Yeah.
I know I was still in high school at the time when it came out.
Yeah. And I remember us all making fun of the Black Album, so just because it wasn't as heavy as and technically melodically inclined for the music as well. I mean, I think coming after Justice, a lot of people also criticize Justice, but I love Justice. I was listening to 90, 91, and even through the 90s, I was listening to Justice, and I just loved everything about Metallica. Like I said, as a guitarist, that's one of the things I covered was just Kirk Hammett's solos. They weren't as fast as Slayer's solos. They weren't as technical as Alex Skolnick's. But it was a good thing for beginner guitarists and even mid-level guitarists to play. So, and it was back in the day. It was Metallica. So that's my number 2 is Metallica.
Dude, they just about creeped into 90s.
Yeah. I know.
They were like 90s, a new album's coming out soon. They're amazing. Oh, Black Album. Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
let me tell you something. I don't mind a couple songs off the Black Album. My Friend in Misery as a bass player, I loved it. That's a good song. But overall, that was the beginning of the decline. Now, their last album, I feel I don't remember what the name of it was, but the most recent album, I think they actually went back to their roots a little bit on it. It wasn't a bad album.
Yes, so starting with that's Hardware to Self-Destruct, and then
yes.
Actually, even before that, Death Magnetic is pretty good too. So
it's
I like
Saint
it,
Anger.
So.
I mean, did they record it in the bathroom at the YMCA?
Yeah, Saint Anger. Yeah, I hated it. So.
Oh, the drums were horrible
Yep.
on it. But again, I can't disagree with you from Justice and before. Justice was my favorite album by them. Hands down, even though you couldn't hear Newstead at all on it. It sounded like 900 guitar players were playing.
Yep.
I don't care. The riffs, everything about that was absolutely amazing in my opinion. But once that Black Album came out, that was it. That was the downfall. And then the whole orchestra thing and everything, I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. couple of things to note, like the don't forget, remember Kermit had that dream that that Metallica was going to release a country album. Remember that? And
Kind of, slightly.
yeah, and then Metallica released Black Album. Then it wasn't too far off.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had the orchestra, so he wasn't far off.
Yeah.
They're not going to do a country
Yeah.
album. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
Message in the gyro. Yeah, so I don't know about that one. I'm going to have to definitely disagree as a number 2 on that one. Dude.
I didn't know where else to put it because they were still influential to
In the
me.
garbage probably is a good spot.
Well, I was still listening to Metallica in the 90s, so like I just didn't listen to
Anything they made in the 90s.
I didn't yeah, Black Album, no. Oh yeah, Black Album a little bit, but yeah, not Load or Reload. So.
Yeah,
But
Load
that's-
is a good name for it.
Yeah. That's my number. That's my number 2.
Number 1. All right, so my number 1 on this list, anybody that knows me would know the answer to this. It's quite simple. Hands down, the god of dark metal, the god of evil, Glenn Danzig. So Danzig is my number 1. Love the guy since he was in the Misfits. He's the Dark Elvis, amazing songwriter. He wrote music for Roy Orbison. He wrote music for Johnny Cash. I mean, the guy has done everything. Started in punk and the Misfits, went a little darker with Samhain, then started Danzig. That first album, Twisted Cain, Mother. I mean, every album, in my opinion, has hits. Now, his latest album, I wouldn't say it's been one of my favorites. I think he's getting a little older now and starting to lose a little bit, but I'll tell you something. When I saw him in New Jersey, and I saw the Misfits, he didn't miss a step. They were absolutely amazing. I mean, nothing brings more emotion out of me than his ballads. Sinistus, I mean, Blood and Tears, I mean, just amazing. So, my top metal band, hands down, and you can say what you want. Maybe he's a little more rock, a little this and that. To me, he's metal, and he will always be my top band. So that's why he's my number 1.
All right.
Sorry, I had to go off a little, man. I like Danzig.
So what words from this list do you find like are related to metal? Johnny Cash, ballads. What was that first guy? He said.
So what's that mean? Nobody can have a different stuff?
I'm just saying, if you're really, I mean.
Hey, so wait a minute. When you just said Metallica's was your last number, they were with an orchestra.
Well, true. That was later on.
It doesn't matter. So was some of his ballads. He didn't
Well,
have ballads
so-
in the Misfits.
But like, what do you like about what's a favorite thing about what's the thing that you like about your favorite metal band? I like their ballads. What are you, 90s? What are you, a hair band? Like, do you like Poison?
Yeah, I do. I love Poison.
Do you think they're metal?
I'd like to put a little in your coffee right now.
But I would agree they're metal, but I think they're like more Black Sabbath-y than anything. Like, well, he is really, so.
Have you heard his later stuff?
I haven't, but
Oh, okay. Well, then you
as in
can't
terms of the 90s, which we're talking about,
What was the
I
last
like-
metal band? What was the last band?
huh?
What was the last album you listened to by him in the 90s?
Oh, the one with Mother.
Okay, that was their first album, dude.
So, doesn't matter.
So you have no idea. He released 2 other albums. I believe it might have been even 3 that year.
But I'm just going what you are saying.
Okay.
Wrote songs for your reasons, right? He wrote songs for Johnny Cash, well, and some other.
I'm
dude
talking
that's not-
about his skills as a songwriter. That's what I was getting at. That's
Oh,
not
okay.
why he's on my metal
Okay,
list.
so like, if if a singer wrote songs for like the Carpenters, would that be any better?
Hey, listen.
Would that make me?
The band Ghost-
would that be a good reason for me to say
The
this is a
band
good
Ghost
metal
is a
band?
metal band. I don't know if you know who they are, but Ghost is a metal band, and they covered an ABBA song. So does that make them not metal?
It doesn't matter. We were not talking about covers.
Oh my gosh.
You can
Listen,
make any.
Welcome to Fighting Fives. I knew it would come out sooner or later.
you
Let's
can
hear your
make-
number 1. Let's hear your number 1.
You can make any song into a metal song.
Let's hear your
Really?
number 1. Let's hear it. And then we can talk more. Let's hear it.
All right, my number 1 at least was the band was at least called metal, and at least the guitar and the guitarist and the lead singer from this was part of another metal band which you did not really disagree with. Is Megadeth.
Yeah,
So-
like I knew that was your number one, and he has plenty of freaking ballads on his
Well,
albums.
I didn't say so ballads. So I'm just saying that's not my reason for liking Megadeth.
But you don't appreciate his songwriting abilities on the ballads.
Well, their ballads are they're not really ballads. Okay, they're not like "I Love Yous," right? That's for
So
one.
all ballads is "I Love
So
You."
so that's for one. Two, that's not my reason for liking them. It's not like I'm saying I like Megadeth because he wrote for the Carpenters and he wrote really
What
good
is it with you and the
ballads.
Carpenters, dude?
I'm
Are you
just
stuck
saying.
on the Carpenters? You listen to them at night or something to sleep?
I'm just saying because that's like the wholesome type of thing, and Johnny Cash.
Wholesome. She
and-
was a bulimic and died. What are you talking about?
Sure, so did a lot of people.
Wholesome.
but-
Wholesome was the last thing she did.
Well, I don't understand that argument because it has nothing to do with a wholesome.
Right. Neither
Right.
does your argument with what you're saying with dancing. So we're even.
No, so I'm just saying your reasons for liking Danzig as a metal band is.
But
is
that
not
wasn't it.
great.
I was again. Sorry, I didn't specify exactly to the letter what I was saying.
You should even put it in. Like, it just totally brings it down. You would have
Okay.
been better leaving those facts out.
Okay. Yes, boss. Let's hear why you like Megadeth. Go ahead.
Well, hey, what? How can you not? Like, he sings and plays solos at the same time. His technical prowess is top notch. He could solo and sing at the same time, right? He used to be the guitarist for Metallica.
Until they threw him out.
Sure, but he used to not for his playing skills, that's for sure. Right? He wrote like he was there for Horseman and lots of that other stuff, right? So and who can't disagree with Peace Sells and So Far So Good, and even to this day Rust in Peace is Tornado of Souls is still highly regarded as a awesome metal song to be not only to be listened to but also to try to play the solos on. So Countdown to Extinction, okay, maybe it's they're coming a little out of it, but they were still pretty good at that point. So I love Dave Mustaine, at least at that point in time. I still like him today, although I haven't really kept up on their current albums.
The last album was really good. I'm not gonna lie.
So
Dystopia,
yeah.
I believe, was the last one.
Which one?
Dystopia, I believe.
Yeah, it was the last one. Right.
Yeah, that's a good album. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna fight with you that Megadeth shouldn't be on the list. They would be in my top 10 also. But your whole fight with me, I believe, is a bunch of bullshit.
I am just saying that your reasons for liking that you're saying why reason why Danzig is a good metal band. You should have just left out the fact about Johnny Cash and.
Okay, I'll clear it with you next time. What tidbits about him I can give and stuff.
Like-
No problem. No problem. But as you can see, we might agree on a lot, but when we disagree, it's 100%. But yeah. So anyway, so that's our number ones. For the most part, we did agree on quite a few, which I was surprised about. But we
Well,
also have the same taste in music, so.
Yeah, it was really hard. I mean, Pantera was on my list. It just didn't make it in just because I think while it was still one of my favorites, it didn't influence me as much as the other ones. Just coming as at that time, I was starting to play my electric guitar and stuff, so I was trying to do solos more. And Dimebag is definitely a good reference for solos. It's just you just don't go into his solos. So you have to start off with something like Metallica and Slayer and stuff like that.
So his, as you can see, Rob's list is for beginners.
No, I didn't say that. If you're, Kirk Hammett's solos is not a beginner solo. I'm just saying that's what you kind of try to learn as you're getting into the more advanced techniques.
I won't disagree. Most bands back when we were in a band and growing up and in high school, most bands, if you were a metal band, you played a Metallica cover.
Right.
That was the bottom line.
Yeah, that was almost to show that you were at least decent enough
Right.
to be a metal band because you could play their stuff. So.
Right. And if you want to be headlining at Obsessions in Randolph, you got to play a Metallica song.
No, well, depending which night, I guess.
Right, exactly. Who goes on before you and what time you go on.
Yeah.
If your first song goes on at 11, there's a good chance nobody's going to be there.
You'll have the crickets clapping for you, so.
You'll have people out there doing the kick dance or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so listen, let us know what your top 5 is. If you agree with us, disagree with us, maybe one of yours isn't even on our list.
Yeah, maybe we forgot something, and or you think, one of us is really bad for
ass.
Yeah, exactly. Bad for saying what we our list is really stupid. So let us know.
And again, I honestly had a whole bunch of bands that I had to narrow down. I mean, my number 1 was my number 1, but I'll tell you, 3, 4, and 5. Number 2 was pretty much number 2, but 3, 4, and 5, I'll tell you, I had to narrow it down. I had to really think why one was a little better than the other.
Yeah, same here. It was just 90s. It was great for metal. So it's you used to have Anthrax in there. That was just.
Oh, dude, that almost made my list.
Yeah,
it almost did.
Yeah, I think again, but they weren't as influential. But yeah, I love State
Tell
of
that to Charlie
Euphoria.
Benante, dude.
But yeah, what other bands were out there? But
Dude, there was a lot. I mean, there was.
Slipknot, late 90s.
Right.
I still like them to today.
Yep.
What else? Maiden is always good, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
So.
And I'll tell you, I almost put Clutch on here.
Oh
but
yeah,
I think,
Clutch.
But I think Clutch is more Southern rock. I think they're right on the edge of metal and Southern rock. So that's why I decided not. If not,
okay.
Clutch would have been probably my number 3.
Clutch is definitely definitely a metal band for sure. I don't. Yeah, I guess on their borderline, but I still consider them metal as well. There's just different type of metal, and that's the problem. There's so many types of metals, different types of metal genres within that. But yeah, but Napalm Death we forgot about. Shoot, what else? Morbid Angel, and obviously Death for Gumskis.
Right, and again, they would be considered more in the death metal category.
Yeah, yep.
I could have said Cradle of Filth, but I think more, not so much today, but more black metal was Cradle of Filth. But now they're a little more death metal-y. But
Oh, what was that one? Oh shoot.
one of their songs?
Obituary.
Obituary. Okay.
Holy crap!
Oh my gosh, dude.
Wow, we forgot about Obituary.
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll do a death metal list.
Yeah, like that's like goth death. That's like a different type of death metal.
Well, when you say, what are your lyrics, and the guy says, my voice is a musical instrument. I don't really have lyrics.
That's the type of death metal we're talking about.
Right. And again, I would put most of them you just said in there. Morbid Angel,
Yeah, Carcass.
Carcass.
Yeah.
Heartworks. Or what was it?
Heartworks. Yes, Heartworks.
Yeah, dude. Oh my
Yes.
god. Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
we might have to do another list in the near future with.
We should do another top 5 metal
death
bands.
metal, yeah.
Yeah.
Narrow it down a little bit more.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, comment and let us know what your top 5 is, or at least what your top 1 is. If you think we're totally out of our minds or what. And,
Let us know. And that's Fighting Fives.